In this reflective video, I will be discussing part of our creative process and the progression that our songwriting made over the time that we've been together. I'll also speak about the extra lengths that we went to prepare ourselves for the assessment. Any other promotional material and recordings we've gained in the process I will showcase as well. Before solidifying ourselves as a band, there are a number of incarnations whereby Bill, our bassist, and myself were writing music for a vocalist to come and write on top of our songs. It took a while for us to find the right person who we were able to work well with and shared the same vision for the music. After putting up posters around the music department, we received an email from Tara from first year stating an interest in meeting with us. It's evident that the meeting went well, since we're now a solid band and are raring to continue together, to continue writing together. If I had to place us in a sonic space, it would be somewhere between Wolf Alice and London Grammar, but our influences are more rock rather than indie. About 2 months before the assessment happened, we decided that we should organise and put on our own gig in Area 51 in the university. We saw this as an opportunity to showcase the talent from inside the university and prepare ourselves for the forthcoming assessment the following week. So any feedback we received from that gig, we thought it would be good to see what it would be before the assessment. This gave us a deadline as well to have our set completely ready to perform by, but still giving us time to make last minute decisions based on how well the gig went down. I found this extremely useful because there were definitely things that we picked up on, one of which being that whoever starts each song needs to make sure they have the right tempo, otherwise the whole feel and vibe of the song completely changes, and in our opinion affects the music. Any comments we received afterwards were also taken into consideration and discussed as a group. We also had video footage of the gig that we could reference, so we spent a lot of time watching and re-watching to pick up on anything that we didn't like or felt stood out, one of which being that our stage presence we thought felt natural, but we could try and move around more, maybe have certain moments that we pick out during sets where we do certain things. And after the gig we decided that we should record all of the songs down roughly so that we can listen to them without playing. My reasoning behind this was that we could listen to the songs as our audience would, rather than having to think about playing and listening to the song at the same time. Perhaps halfway through one of us might have felt that the song could have gone in a different direction to what it did, and us all being quite open to change helped because no one was overprotective of any of the songs, which may have hindered the progression that they made. I feel like this process worked very well with our group because the day of the assessment we sort of saw how far the songs had actually come from just a few months ago. Before going into the progression between voice notes that we made during rehearsals and writing sessions to actual recorded songs, I thought it'd be a good idea to start off when we just started writing together. At the start of our time working together, Bill and myself thought it would be productive to show Tara all of the songs that we'd written together before this, to see if she'd be happy to use any of them. And at that time I was hoping for her to be happy with our songs and want to use them, but in hindsight I realised my attachment to the songs was overshadowing the potential of us all writing together as a band. So I decided that I would keep those songs I'd written and save them potentially for another project in the future and start afresh with this new project, so we could start building ourselves coherently with everyone having equal part in all aspects of the band. We spent time doing research into potential direction of our music, which where we wanted our music to be placed basically in the music industry, in the world of music, which bands we could see ourselves joining on a lined up and what sort of space we could see our music occupying. We all thought that it would be useful to do that at the start so that we have a solid direction and goal in our heads to work towards. In theory, we thought it would increase our productivity and ensure that we all were on the same page when it came to the band. From our research, we knew that if we were to create a band that has standard guitar, bass, drums and vocal setup, that it would be fairly difficult for us to stand out from the plethora of other bands like that. It's such a common lineup. This was the point where we decided to incorporate the Moog Voyager synth into it. As well as expanding our live sound, it also gave us different avenues that we could go down when we write material. One of them being that we would write a chord progression on the synth, then build the guitar, bass, drums, and on top of that progression. Having said this, we still end up bringing ideas that we write outside of practice in our own time and bring it into a rehearsal, then build it from there. But in total, it took us around 5 to 6 weeks to complete and perfect the 25-minute set consisting of 5 original songs. I think the process took maybe a little longer than expected due to the band's sense of professionalism, and all of us being quite big perfectionists. But we were able to communicate in a way that steered clear of any personal issues for a more objective, constructive direction of criticism. And if any of us thought that anything should change, we would sit down, listen to the feedback and try to make changes where needed. We found that most of the time the songs would benefit from this, and keeping the songs open to adjustments meant that we could continually progress our sound.
It's a blackout and I chase for